Hi, Busy Bees. How are you today? We miss you and we wish we could give you a big hug. Can you give yourself a big hug like that? Oh, we miss you, but it's good to be with you here today. Let's go ahead. I have some fun things for us to talk about today back at Miss Stephanie's farm. So let's go ahead and sit down on the rug and get comfortable. Busy bees on the rug, busy bees on the rug, busy bees safe and snug, busy bees on the rug. Good job, friends. Well, I've got a question for you. Have you ever been to the zoo? Raise your hand if you've been to the zoo. I've been to the zoo. I've got some of my stuffed animals here. These are some animals that you might see at the zoo. What is this? This is a penguin. Have you seen the penguins swim at the zoo? They jump in and they splash around. See, so he doesn't fall down. There we go. And then I have, what is this? Do you see his stripes? His orange and his black stripes? That's a tiger. That's right. Have you seen a tiger at the zoo? Yeah. And another one of my favorite animals at the zoo is a giraffe. I love seeing giraffes and their tall, long necks at the zoo. And then another one here, get my stuffed animals so they don't fall down, is the elephant. Have you seen an elephant at the zoo with their long trunk? And they're so big. They're just so big, aren't they? Well, those are some of my stuffed animals from my kids that they let me borrow to show you about zoo animals. I bet you have some stuffed animals too, maybe some zoo stuffed animals. There we go. We'll put them right there. They can sit there and listen to our story with us. Well, we've been talking about the world that God made and that God made the animals. Did you like Miss Stephanie's farm animals from last time? And we talked about that in the world that God made you and that He made me. Well, God made the animals that are at the zoo today too. There's some really big animals, some really colorful animals, and some animals that make really fun noises like the monkeys. Have you heard the monkeys at the zoo? They go, ooh, 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 ooh. Can you make that noise? I bet you can. Well, guess what? In the Bible, there's a story kind of about a zoo. And that zoo was on a boat. Can you believe that? A zoo on a boat? That's just wild, isn't it? Well, maybe you've heard about the story of Noah and the ark. This is Noah, and this is the ark. It was a big, big boat, and it had lots of animals on it. Maybe even zoo animals like elephants and giraffes and monkeys and zebras and hippos on it. Let's read our story. God told Noah, "Build an ark and make it long and wide. Soon I'm sending lots of rain, but you'll be safe inside." So Noah obeyed God and he built a big, huge boat. The animals came two by two. God sent them to the boat: 2 sheep, 2 bears, 2 elephants, 2 tigers, and 2 goats. Can you see some of those animals? Can you find the sheep? There's the sheep. Can you find the tigers? There's the tigers. Can you find the penguins? There's the penguins. Can you find the elephants? That's right, there they are. All of the animals got on the boat. The rain came down for 40 days, and lightning lit the sky. Inside the ark, the animals stayed cozy, warm, and dry. Finally, the sun came out, and some land began to show. A dove brought back a leafy branch, proof that trees had room to grow. They knew the water was going away and they might be able to get out soon. When the ark was on dry ground, the animals walked free beneath a pretty rainbow God had made for them to see. Do you want to see if we can find the rainbow? Let's see, is the rainbow here? No, what's that? It's owls. Is it here? No, that's cows. Is it here? No, that's lions. Is it here? No, that's doggies. Is it here? There it is. There's the rainbow. That's the rainbow that God sent to promise that He would never flood the earth again. I like rainbows. The end. So that was about a big zoo on a boat, and that boat's name was the Ark. And something that's kind of fun, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this little thing right here that I have my things sitting on, it kind of looks like the Ark maybe did a little bit. It's got a roof on it, and it's got this part that could be the boat, and then you would take these little parts off and it would float in the water like a big boat. But this is just a small size. The boat that had all the animals was huge. It was so big. So if you look in your stuff in your email for this week, here's a little coloring sheet that you might want to color about Noah's Ark. And you can see the roof on it and the boat and some of the animals that we've talked about. And then we have one more little craft. You can either print this out and you can paint or color it or whatever you want to do with that. Or if you have a white plate at home, your mommy or daddy could help you cut this little section out and another little section out like this. And you could use one of those and put it right here as a trunk. So we'll just take the glue. And we'll glue on the trunk right there. See if it'll stick. And then I've got some googly eyes. And you can either, if you happen to have googly eyes, you can use that. Or if you want to draw some eyes on there, just whatever you have. You can be creative and put some things together. We'll glue that like this. Those eyes are circles, aren't they? There we go. And then Miss Gina is going to paint some of this. We can paint our elephant. A lot of times elephants are kind of gray or brown. But I'm going to paint mine all different colors. I like blue. And let's put some green on my elephant. These are my elephant's big ears out here. You can either paint this or you can color it with your crayons or your markers at home. Let's see. Here's some red. I love red. That's one of my favorite colors. And what else? Maybe some purple. That's another one of my favorite colors. And some yellow. What other colors do we need? Oh, we need orange, don't we? Here's some orange. That's Miss Stephanie's favorite color. And let's see, why don't we do we'll do some stripes on the nose. Let's do some green. And we'll do some orange. Oh, that kind of turned out funny. There we go. And we'll do some purple. And we'll do some yellow. There we go. There's an elephant. And if you have a little popsicle stick or something at home, your mommy or daddy could staple it on. And there you have a little elephant puppet. All right.
Friends, did you enjoy Miss Gina's story about Noah's Ark? I know I did. Do you know that on Noah's Ark, all the animals were set apart and separate, weren't they? You know, the animals are kind of on a quarantine, like us. We're on a quarantine, aren't we? Do you know that quarantine really just means to be set apart? God wants us to be set apart for Him all the time. Speaking of being set apart, did you like the elephants? Those were a fun part of the story, weren't they? Speaking of elephants, I have a book about elephants that we're going to read. And it's about an elephant that's going to be set apart. His name is Elmer. He doesn't look the same color as this elephant, does he? He's different. He's set apart. Let's see. There was once a herd of elephants. Elephants old and young and tall and short, fat and thin. All were different, but all were happy and almost the same color. All the elephants except Elmer. Elmer was not an elephant color. He was a patchwork. Elmer was yellow and orange and red and pink and purple and blue and green and black and white. Elmer was all kinds of colors. It was Elmer, though, who kept all the other elephants happy. He had games and jokes. They were always his idea. If there was an elephant laughing, it was usually because of Elmer. Look at Elmer being silly. But Elmer himself, Elmer wasn't happy. Who ever heard of a patchwork elephant, he thought. No wonder they laugh at me. One morning, just as the other elephants were waking up, Elmer slipped away. Do you see him being sneaky? As he walked through the jungle, Elmer met other animals. Good morning, Elmer, they said. Look at all of the animals telling Elmer good morning. Oh, almost missed the tall giraffe. After a long walk, Elmer found what he was looking for. A large bush covered with berries. Those berries were elephant color. Elmer caught a hold of the bush and he shook it until the berries fell all over the ground. Then Elmer lay down and rolled over the berries, this way and that. He picked up bunches of berries and rubbed himself all over until he was covered with berry juice. When he had finished, there wasn't a sign of any yellow or orange or red or pink or purple or blue or green or black or white. Elmer looked like any other elephant. On his way back through the jungle, Elmer passed the other animals. They didn't call him Elmer. They called him Elephant. Good morning, Elephant, they said. When Elmer rejoined the herd, none of the other elephants even noticed him. He looked like every other one. As he stood there, Elmer felt that something was wrong. But what? He looked around. Same old jungle, same old blue sky, same old rain cloud, same old elephants. The other elephants were standing absolutely still, silent and serious. Elmer had never seen them so serious before. It made him want to laugh. Finally, he couldn't take it any longer. He lifted up his trunk, and at the top of his voice, he shouted, "Boo!" The other elephants jumped in surprise. Elmer was helpless with laughter. Then the others began to laugh too. Too bad Elmer isn't here to share the fun, they said, laughing harder and harder. And then the rain cloud burst. And when the rain fell on Elmer, his patchwork started to show again. "Oh, Elmer," gasped an old elephant as Elmer was washed back to normal. "You've played some good jokes, but this has been your biggest yet. What would we do without you? We must celebrate this day every year." So, the day of Elmer's best joke. All of us elephants will decorate ourselves in his honor, and Elmer will decorate himself like a regular old elephant. And one day each year, all of the elephants color themselves in yellow and orange and red and pink and purple and green and blue and black and white, and they have a big parade. If you happen to see an elephant in the Elmer's Day Parade, the ordinary colored elephant, that must be Elmer. That was fun, wasn't it? Boys and girls, Elmer was different, but he was special. And God wants us to be set apart and special so that we glorify Him and we show that we love Him. I've had so much, I almost forgot my other Sue. Thought we could do the monkeys jumping on the bed song. Do you like that? We have a bed, and we have a doctor, and we have a mommy. And how many monkeys? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here's a pillow for the monkeys in case they get sleepy. Okay. Ready? 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." 2 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." 1 little monkey jumping on the bed. He fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." So it can be tempting to jump on the bed when we've been cooped up all day, can't it? I think the doctor says don't do that. Okay, friends, I've had a fun time with you. Hope to see you next time.